For a long time, you probably had a story about yourself, that you were lazy, that you just needed to try harder, that everyone else somehow figured out how to sit down and focus and get things done, and there was something quietly, fundamentally wrong with you because you couldn't. You'd start things and never finish them. You'd forget things that mattered. You'd sit down to do one task and somehow lose 2 hours to something completely different. And every single time, the voice in your head said the same thing. Why can't you just be normal? If that hit somewhere real, I want you to stay with me, because what I'm about to share might reframe your entire relationship with yourself. Here are 7 science-backed clues that what you've been calling a personal failure might actually be ADHD. Clue number 1. Your attention isn't broken. It's inconsistent. You can't focus on a spreadsheet for 10 minutes. But you spent 6 hours completely absorbed in something that genuinely interested you and didn't even notice time passing. This isn't laziness. Neurologist Dr. Russell Barkley describes ADHD not as a deficit of attention, but as an inability to regulate it. The brain with ADHD struggles to direct focus on demand. But when something activates the interest system, it locks in completely. That's called hyperfocus. And it's one of the most misunderstood parts of ADHD. Clue number 2. You live in 2 time zones. Now and not now. Deadlines that are weeks away feel completely unreal until they are terrifyingly immediate. Planning ahead feels almost impossible because the future doesn't feel emotionally present. Dr. Barkley calls this time blindness, a neurological difficulty experiencing time as a continuous flow. It's not procrastination born from not caring. It's a brain that genuinely struggles to feel the weight of time that hasn't arrived yet. Clue number 3. Your emotions hit harder and faster than other people's. Something goes wrong and the shame or frustration or anxiety floods you instantly. Big, overwhelming, and sometimes completely disproportionate to the moment. This is called emotional dysregulation, and research consistently shows it as a core but under-recognized feature of ADHD. Your feelings aren't too much. Your brain has less of the filtering mechanism that slows emotional responses down before they arrive. Clue number 4. Boredom is physically painful for you, not mildly unpleasant, genuinely, restlessly, almost desperately uncomfortable. The ADHD brain is chronically understimulated at baseline. It constantly seeks input, novelty, movement, stimulation, not out of selfishness, but out of a neurological need. When that need isn't met, the discomfort is real. The fidgeting, the channel switching, the inability to sit in stillness. That's not a character flaw. That's a nervous system asking for what it needs. Clue number 5. You've been called smart but lazy your whole life. Your intelligence was never in question. But your follow-through was. Your consistency was. Your ability to translate what you knew into what you could actually produce on a schedule was. And because people could see you were capable, they assumed the gap was effort. It wasn't effort, it was executive function. The ADHD brain has genuine neurological difficulty with initiating, organizing, sustaining, and completing tasks. Not because it doesn't want to, because the wiring that makes those things automatic for other people simply works differently. Clue number 6. Your self-esteem has taken a lifetime of quiet damage. This one breaks my heart a little, because by the time most people discover they have ADHD, especially those diagnosed as adults, they have spent years, sometimes decades, internalizing failure as identity. Every missed deadline, every forgotten promise, every job half-finished, every relationship strained by distraction, every moment of watching everyone else seem to manage what you couldn't, it accumulates. Researcher Michelle Salanto found that adults with ADHD report significantly higher rates of shame, self-doubt, and chronic underachievement, not because of their diagnosis, but because of how long it went unseen and unnamed. You weren't failing. You were undiagnosed. Clue number 7. You've developed an exhausting number of coping strategies just to appear normal. You set 17 alarms. You write everything down because your memory is unreliable. You over-prepare to compensate for the chaos you feel inside. You've built elaborate systems just to function at the level that seems effortless for other people, and you're tired, deeply, quietly tired, because performing neurotypical is a full-time job on top of your actual life. That exhaustion is real, and it is telling you something important. Here is what I need you to hear at the end of this. A diagnosis is not a label. It is not a limitation. It is an explanation. It is the moment the story you've been telling about yourself, that you are lazy, careless, too much, not enough, finally gets a different ending. You were never the problem. You just never had the right framework for understanding your own mind. If any of this felt familiar, please talk to a professional. Not because something is wrong with you, but because you deserve to finally understand yourself. Fully, kindly, accurately. You've been hard on yourself long enough. I'll see you in the next one.